Hello everyone, my name is Oksana, and today I will be talking about the degrees of comparison. So first thing to mention that we are talking about adjectives. Adjectives are the part of grammar, separate part of grammar. And let me stop this slide and share another one where I just say that adjectives normally describe larger nouns. Any nouns, right? So in very simple explanation, just remember that adjectives, they describe a noun. Remember that nouns in a sentence tell you what or who in the sentence, right? Yeah, example can be, I don't know, red rose, the car, I don't know, etc. Where adjective is red, because we describe the noun, big, adjective, we describe car. Car is a noun, and rose is a noun. All right, let's get back to our topic, today's topic. So we're talking about the degrees of comparison, and actually we have 2 degrees of comparison. We have comparative degree and superlative degree. So if you see this positive degree, it means a dictionary form of adjective, which is an adjective the way it is, without any suffixes, just the way you see the adjective in the dictionary. So we start with one syllable adjectives. One syllable means one vowel. In the example, I use very simple adjective, tall. Tall, a tall boy. All right. When you want to compare things in comparative degrees, we normally, let me put this, compare two things. No matter what are those things, people, objects, whatever. We're just talking about two things. We're comparing two things. For example, this boy is taller than that boy. And in this degree, we add suffix er to most of our adjectives. Sometimes they may have 2 syllables, but we still change to er, sometimes not. Okay, let's talk about that later. Now come back to a taller. After this adjective, in comparative degree, we normally use than, because we compare things, right? And we need it. So some textbooks, they already teach you to remember the comparative form of the adjective with than. Because normally we say, this girl is taller than that girl. So we compare things and we need than. In superlative degree, it tells us that something is standing out of all, right? It's the most of all or the least of all. We have the suffix est to add to one syllable, mostly one syllable or 2 syllable adjectives. And we have that. I don't know, I saw many textbooks and many study materials that actually neglect the article that. However, in English, it doesn't go anywhere. So please remember that you need that always. You need to use it before this adjective in superlative degree. That tallest. The tallest. This boy is the tallest of all. This building is the tallest, is the highest of all. This girl is the tall. Yeah, we use tall for people and high for buildings. This girl is the tallest of all. We don't compare with another object. We just say that this something of all, right? So just highlight this something. In comparative degree, we compare two things. Let's go to the suffix or ending y. When we have adjectives ending in y, normally we have two syllables here. So we change y to I. In other words, there is no more y. So y simply becomes I. All right? And there is no more y. No more, it's gone. Okay? And I gets its friends er. And I always comes together with er. So you get noisier. Remember to pronounce I as E in the word, as though it was Y, however it is I, but we still pronounce it as Y, final. And we say noisier, happier. Okay. Yeah, this is something maybe to remember for many students. In the superlative degree, we use that I plus friends, right? We have est, but we have the same suffix est, but we just changed y to I. That's the only difference, right? So we have iest, iest. And we get the noisiest, the happiest. This boy is the noisiest of all. She is the happiest of all. Something like that. And again, don't forget when we have comparative degree, don't forget to compare and use them. So we say, he is noisier than that boy. She is happier than that girl. Or you can just say, my love is happier here. My love is happier there. Or my life was happier before something happened. So not always you need then, but normally yes. In most cases. However, depending on the context, you may not need then. And let's look at more examples when we have two syllables. But you already know that sometimes two syllables may add er, but these examples tell you that we don't add er, we add the word more, and we don't change anything in the adjective. We add more and the most. The most. You will probably see that in some words it's like normally you can't even say if you add the suffix er more than no, it would be very difficult to say that word. It will be very long. That's why we don't add anything. We don't add the suffix. We just add more in front before the adjectives. Then we say more than. As to syllables, count vowels. You have two vowels here, more than, famous. In spite of the fact you have two vowels here, however, you have only one sound. So we actually count sounds, not physical vowels we have. So famous, 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 right? You hear only two vowel sounds, which means that there are 2 syllables in this word. More famous, and the most modern, the most famous. Just again, turning your attention to the article there, because most people think, I don't need this bloody article, so many things to remember. But actually in English language, you really need that in superlative degree. Not here, not in comparative degree, all right? Only in superlative degree. So if you use the, well, if you want to use most form, just always use the most. Use it like one word. I don't know, just remember this as one word. Don't separate them. All right. In this case, in this degree, I mean, not in other context, but in this degree, in this grammar, don't separate them. Always use the with most, and with other adjectives in this degree. You see the, always the, right? Okay, if we have 3 syllables, so important, important. I have 3 vowels here, and I know I have 3 syllables. Always, I don't know, in schools, in primary schools, normally kids clap when they hear the vowel sound, so they clap like important. So if you're not sure, just try to clap to whatever sound you can pronounce, and this will help you to understand the syllables in a word. Yeah, so more 3 syllables and more syllables, you always add more, so no more changing, no more suffixes. More in comparative degree. It is more important. It is more important, or this situation is more important than that situation. So you compare, use than, and the most important. This is the most important case, or wherever. Well, hope you understand this. So let me hear this slide, clear this slide. Oh my gosh. And just move on. So, all right, let's start over again. I put some pictures for you to understand the subject easier as well, comparative form, comparative degree. All right, so we have big, we have bigger than, and the biggest. Understandable, right? That when we compare, we add suffix er. Okay, big is 1 syllable word, adjective. In English language, normally we double consonant in 1 syllable words. That's why we have here, this is just another rule for you to remember. That's why we have here 2G, a double G. And we add ER because it is a 1 syllable adjective. Then when we compare something, we add than. This apple is bigger than that apple. And we have superlative degree. We just say the biggest, the biggest. We add another suffix est. This apple is the biggest apple out of all, out of all. All right. Some more examples here. Dark, 1 vowel, 1 syllable. Daka, er, then, and the darkest. Simple. Again, remember I said you count syllables and vowels which you hear or can pronounce. E is not vowel we pronounce. It is a silent final E. That's why we have only one vowel here and one syllable. We just add simpler, then, and the simplest. Clever. In clever, we have two syllables. However, we still add suffix er. If you're not sure when we add suffix er, just use your dictionary or just Google or ask your teacher, another option, if you have a teacher. Cleverer than. The cleverest. Yellow color. Yellow. We always add suffix er to colors. Normally, yes. Red, bluer is hard to pronounce. Bluish. Bluish, that's another suffix. Ish, that's Australian suffix. So yellower than, and the yellowest. So, all right, I want to share one word here, and I want to ask you, what do you think is the suffix, or what would be the correct suffix for this word in comparative and superlative degree? All right, so the answer is grammatically, it is, of course, er, because we have only one syllable here and one vowel, safe. E is silent, and we just add, we don't add another E. See the difference? So we add only one R in such case, okay? And the superlative would be the safest country in the world. Yeah, Australia is the safest country in the world, or one of the safest countries. All right, so normally I've never heard this comparative word in the street or just in any communication, conversation with people I had in my life. I've never heard this word. And I can tell you why. So, because for most of the adult migrants, it is really difficult to pronounce this word. Just try to say it. Just give it a go, like safer. What? Normally, even if you can pronounce it, safer. But when you speak fast with someone in real life conversation, this word sounds, it is somewhat like disappearing. It's not heard. And native speakers, normally, they start to ask you, say it again, say it again, say it again, and again and again. Oh, what did you just say? What did you just say? And you're like, safer. And they're like, what was that? And again, say it again. What did you mean? All right, so in most cases, this word is difficult to pronounce correctly for adult migrants. And what I heard is only this, more safe and the most safe. In my opinion, as an overeducated linguist, who started a research on the cultural differences in pronunciation and learning among adult migrants, I can tell you that this form, more safe, was brought to life by migrants because, as I said, to avoid difficulty in pronunciation, accent, etc. So just this form is also normal, it is acceptable, and it is more common in normal life. And you meet this form more often rather than this form, safer. The most safe, yeah, people just say the most safe. It is also acceptable in all English-speaking countries. However, the safest, yeah, these two might be used in literature. However, I don't even remember if I saw them in books or stories. Maybe I didn't mention this. When you read fast, you just don't mention some things. All right, so let me clear this and move on to exceptions. And move on to exceptions. All right, what exceptions we have? Of course, there are exceptions. We have three interesting exceptions here. One is the adjective good, which has a comparative form better. Actually, it's interesting. Did you know that better is the comparative form of good? Most students didn't know this. So I'm telling you that this is an exception. Please don't add any ER here, okay? There is no gooder or better. No gooder or better, very gooder. All right, so don't add ER, don't add EST suffixes here. These words are all exceptions and they change the whole form, the whole word, okay? So you have good dictionary word, normal adjective, okay? You describe a noun, a good dog. Then you want to compare something and you say better than. For example, you may say, life in Australia is better than in America, or something like that. And you have superlative degree, which is the best. Again, please don't forget about that. Always use them together. Then you have bad. Did you know that worse is the comparative degree of bad? Well, it is. And again, we use than when we compare two things. This situation is worse, not better or worser. It's just worse. Silent E at the end. We don't pronounce it. We just say this situation is worse than that, right? When we say the superlative degree, worst of all, worst of all, worst in the whole world. All right, and we have little. Again, don't add anything here. We don't say little or little less. I can't even say it. All right, we have the comparative degree less than, and the least of all. It's E, long E here, least. Examples. This text is less difficult than that one. So we compare two texts and we say this one is less difficult than that one, okay? So we compare two things. Comparative degree, less. The least, superlative degree. This text is the least difficult of all. We don't compare with another object. We just say that something is standing out of all, right? All right, so let me stop sharing this and let me show you some test or activity. We're not gonna do more because it will be a very long video, but we're gonna do some. Let's start. So, number one, actually, you can pause this video and do it yourself. You need just use, okay, I'm not gonna help you. because it would be too easy. Number 1, Australia is big, but Canada is big, biggest, bigger than is Australia. So we are comparing two things, right? Australia and Canada. So when we are comparing, we use ER and then we use bigger than, right? Okay, so David is 185 centimeters tall. He is Andrew. So what's happening here? Again, we are comparing two people. So yes, correct, taller than. So number 3, I think that summaries, we have then here, right? See, and winter. So what's happening here? Again, we are comparing two things, summer and winter, and we say, I think that summer is good, better, the best than winter. Yes, correct is B. And just let's quickly look at number 9. Patrick thinks that chocolate cake, banana cake, A is more delicious than, B delicious than, C more delicious, banana cake. Yes, of course, this is A is more because we need is, we need more, and we need than. So we need all 3 grammar parts. Chocolate cake is more delicious than. More, we show comparative degree, and then we use to compare two things, banana cake and chocolate cake. All right, hope you understand this grammar. You can pause this video and just finish it, finish this activity. I can actually scroll it a bit down for you. So, and you just can see some of more sentences to complete. But I leave it with you. You just pause this video and finish this activity on your own. And good luck with everything. Okay, so bye-bye. See you next time, or hear you next time.